Yo, what's up guys? Jagex came out with a brand new pretty good update yesterday, which was they updated Death's rewards. Now before this update, the rewards that you could buy with Reaper points were just pretty lackluster, and the only thing that you'd really go for is the incomplete Hydrix, which was 25 mil every 300 Reaper points. And don't get me wrong, I think this is still going to be the most sought after item on this list. However, some of the new items just give you something else to work for if you're interested in them. So in this video, I'm just going to go over them and explain exactly what each of them do, because a few of them actually do seem pretty damn useful. Now let's start off with a big one, which is the Book of Death. Now in order to unlock the ability to craft the book, you need to spend 500 Reaper points on it. And after you've bought that, you need to have the materials to actually craft the book, which is 4 Death Notes and 1 cut Hydrix. Now you can buy these Death Notes off of the Grand Exchange, or they're 40 Reaper points each. Now this book is a pocket slot item, so basically this is the Hydrix pocket slot. Now what this does is it gives you a small chance to instantly kill monsters that you're fighting, or if you're bossing, it gives you a small chance to deal a high amount of damage to them. I was told this book has around 500 special attacks, so once you use this book's ability 500 times, that's when it will run out of charge. Now I'm assuming in order to recharge it, you'll need to add more Death Notes to the book. I don't think it would be adding a Onyx to it like the other Hydrix jewelry, because that just wouldn't make sense. The one that would make sense is obviously adding the Death Notes to it again, so that is most probably how you recharge it. Now honestly, this seems like a pretty solid item unless you need to be using a scrimshaw for whatever you're doing, but I mean, even if you wanted to make Slayer assignments slightly quicker, this would be a pretty useful item. However, like I said earlier, you have to spend 500 Reaper points on it, and you cannot buy it from the Grand Exchange. You have to have all the materials and craft it from scratch with level 80 crafting after you've bought the ability to do so. Now let's move on to the next item, which is called the Reaper's Choice, and this gives you a random chance of being able to choose your assignment when receiving a new one from Death. Now this random chance is 1 in 10, so you have a 10% chance of being able to choose your next assignment whenever you've unlocked this ability. Honestly, if you do Death's assignments every day, then it may be worth it to actually buy this. It just obviously depends on whether or not you like the randomness of Death, or if you'd rather choose your own assignments. Even if you get this, you'll only be getting a 10% chance to do so anyway, but I mean 10% is still a decent chance to do so. The next one is under Reaper's Choice, and this one is the Grave Loot Beam, and I don't really know how I feel about this. I mean, it doesn't really seem like a flashy loot beam just by the looks of it. For me, I just stick to my normal golden loot beam. That looks the best to me, to be honest. But I mean, hey, it's up for grabs in Death's store for 75 Reaper points or 750 Slayer points if you want it. Scrolling all the way down, and we get to the Reaper Scroll, and this permanently increases the Slayer XP that you get from Reaper tasks by 50%. Now honestly, I don't think this one is too much of a big deal. I mean, even if you get an Araxor task, you're only going to be getting 20k Slayer XP at the end of it, and then if you manage to unlock this, you'll be getting 30k, which is only 10k more. But I guess in the end of it, if you do actually do these Reaper tasks every day, all that Slayer XP adds up. So once again, if this feels appealing to you, it's up for grabs. The last new item that is able to be unlocked with Reaper points is called Death Support, and this permanently increases the amount healed from Sign and Portent of Life and Death by 100%. Now honestly, for some reason, I really like this passive ability. I think it just helps people that are going to try new bosses like Rots or Araxor or Telos, because if their Sign of Life or Death does get popped, then you'll just have more HP to work with, and it just gives you a bit more breathing room there, because with the Sign of Life, for example, you'll only get regen to like 25%, whereas with this passive ability, you'll get regen to 50%. And that extra HP can actually be really crucial, because if you're nervous and you just saw that your Sign of Life get popped, your mouse may be going everywhere and you may not know what to do. This will just give you that extra breathing room, like I said. Now if we move on to the next page, they did add a couple of Cosmetic Overrides. The first one is Death Scythe, and you can get this by completing 100 Reaper tasks, and the next one is right next to it, which is Tiny Death, and this is a Death bobblehead pet. And the only way that you can get this is by completing 200 Reaper tasks, which is like 6 months work of Reaper tasks. Now there's one last thing that Jagex did. They like revamped all the prices of the aura refreshes. So if you're taking a look at this now and you knew what the prices were beforehand, then you can tell that they're obviously a lot cheaper. For those of you that don't know the prices beforehand, I'm just going to say the Reaper points for this. The tier 1 was 20, tier 2 was 25, tier 3 was 35, tier 4 was 50. So they've gone down a considerable amount, since tier 1 is only 5 now, tier 2 is 10, tier 3 is 15, and tier 4 is 20. They've cut the price for more than half for all of them, and that is a pretty damn significant change. Not to mention, they also cut the Slayer point cost by more than half as well. And not only did they do this for the auras, but they also did this for Death's deal. It used to be 50 Reaper points or 500 Slayer points, but now it's 25 Reaper points or 250 Slayer points. I think these revamped prices are actually going to make people use them more, because they were way too expensive earlier. So I think Jagex did a good job by recognizing that and actually changing it. But anyways guys, that is it. That is the end of this video. I just wanted to help spread the awareness about this update. Let me know which new item or price update that you like in the comments. And as always, thank you guys for watching, subscribe if you're new, and peace.